Hello YouTubers, RogueMonkey Jr. here, and in today's video I'm just gonna show you guys what class setup I use, i.e. What weapons I use, gadgets and all that stuff, just to give you guys a little bit of an idea how I run my classes and what weapons are, according to me, the better weapons for each class. Now, all things considering, I do play offensively a lot. I don't really stay out in the backfield, so I'm mostly an offensive player. So I'm going to show you guys that class setup right now. So for the Assault, despite a lot of people liking the Hellriegel, I've actually grown to like the Automatico M1918 Storm a lot more. Now the Storm variant of the weapon reduces the recoil when firing, so that makes the recoil a lot more manageable, and I can get kills at pretty decent range with this weapon. Now, the reason I like this weapon more, or not more, but pretty much equivalently to the Hellriegel, is that I get more ammo in all, because with the Hellriegel you only get 120 shots, although there is 60 bullets per magazine. But the fact that the Automatico shoots at 900 rounds per minute is not negligible for me, seeing as I said earlier, I'm a very offensive player, so I prefer, this is the gun I use for pretty much every situation. I rarely use a shotgun, and I rarely use any other weapon other than this one. For the sidearm, I went with the 1903 Hammerless because it has a quick rate of fire, it reloads pretty fast, and the damage is pretty good at close range, which is when I'm going to need to use this if my main weapon runs out of ammo. For the gadgets, so I use the AT rocket gun and the anti-tank grenade because I like to have one longer range option to take out tanks, and then a close range option to take out tanks. So I have the anti-tank grenades instead, and the AT rocket gun instead of dynamite. Like, I know a lot of people like dynamite, but I prefer to have one option like for close and one option for further ranges. For the grenades, now I run the frag grenade across all my kits. I find that it is the best grenade that I can use. It's consistent, I can get consistent kills with it. Gas grenades, I just find there's already too much of gas, and it annoys me that I have to put my gas mask on, so I don't want to add to that chaos, so I stay away from the gas grenades. And all the other grenades, meh, they're not my preferred type of explosives because some of them do less damage than the frag grenade, so I just stick with the frag grenade. Now for the melee weapons, I know some people depends on what your playstyle is, but some melee weapons do more damage than others. So basically, the Sawtooth Knife I use on 2 classes, and the Bartek Bludgeon on 2 others. I don't really use them to break things or stuff like that. Like, yeah, it's very advantageous to have the one to break barbed wire. Wood, not that much. You could just shoot through it, but I just like them mostly for aesthetics, and so that's pretty much it. For the medic class, my favorite weapon is hands down the auto-loading 8.25 extended. Now I know a lot of people like the Selbstlader either variant or the Mondragon, but the reason I really like the auto-loading 8.25, it's got a 16 round clip, or magazine that is. It shoots 360 rounds per minute, which is pretty damn fast. Despite the fact that it's not very good at long range, it fits my playstyle very well because I'm a very aggressive player. For the sidearm, I went with the Taschen Pistol M1914, which is very similar to the 1903 Hammerless from the Assault class. It has 450 rate of fire, same amount of rounds in the clip, and it has pretty much the same damage model. So those are the pistols that I find have the best DPS that are going to be able to take down consistently enemies if I run out of ammo in my main weapon. Now for the gadgets. Now I know a lot of people use the medical crate, okay? To heal multiple enemies at once. The reason I use the bandage pouch is because 1, I can heal on the move, and 2, it heals me a lot faster than the medical crate would ever heal me. And I can heal up to 2 people at once. So that fits my playstyle a lot better than like standing behind cover and getting healed by the medical crate. So that's the reason why I use the bandage pouch. I don't really switch off. Like, some people switch off depending on if they're playing in a big map with a lot of people and they want to heal multiple people at once, but I can't see myself doing that, so I just use the bandage pouch. Obviously, Gadget 4 is the medical syringe. If you don't have a syringe, you're pretty much just a useless medic. As I said earlier, frag grenades and the Sawtooth Knife for this specific class. For the support, now Granted, support weapons are severely underpowered, I find, compared to all the other class of weapons in the game. But my favorite one is the Bar M1918 Storm variant. It has a better recoil pattern, easier to control, and it does pretty decent damage at close and medium range, and you can even kill people in long range. It has pretty good hip fire accuracy. So that's the reason I use this weapon, and it doesn't have these big magazine obstructing your view. Like, let's say the Madsen is a pretty good gun, but the freaking clip on the side like that, I just don't like that. It's too obtrusive of my vision, and I just can't deal with that. So I use the M1918 with the AA sight. The only downside that I can find to the Bar is the ammunition in the mag. There's only 20 shots, so you're going to want a pretty good sidearm. So the sidearm I use is the Modelo 1915, which is pretty much like the pistols from the other classes. It's got the same rate of fire. They're pretty much all the same thing, honestly. And they're just a really good, consistent sidearm to have. So Gadget 1 is the ammo pouch. I like the ammo pouch because it reloads your ammo instantly, and it gives you grenades instantly, so you don't have to stand by an ammo crate to get those that equipment or those whatever you want. For the Gadget 4, now this is where it changes a little bit depending on the situation of the game. Like if my friend has a tank, I might switch off to the repair tool and repair him. If there's a lot of tanks around, I might get a limpet charge and try to throw that on there. Or if I have to take down bunker doors, limpet charge also. And in certain maps, I'll switch it up with the mortar airburst or the HE. So it's all depending on the situation that I'm in. As always, frag grenades, and for this class, I have the Bartek bludgeon. Now for the scout. So this is the class in which I switch out my primary the most. All the other classes, you're going to pretty much see me play with the same primary weapons all the time. This one is quite different. So the one I use the most is the SMLE Mark III Marksman Scout Rifle. And the reason for this is because I am an aggressive scout. I don't stand in the backfields way far. So I need a sweet spot that is advantageous to my playstyle. Now, if I do end up being a little bit more defensive, I might switch up to the M1903, which has a further sweet spot, but I won't really push it more than that. I've tried the other ones, but those are pretty much my two favorite ones. And if I'm really playing aggressive, or I just want that satisfying one-shot kill and with the best sweet spot in the game, I would go with the Martini Henry. I freaking love this thing. I think it's the best level 10 gun you can unlock. It's so much fun to use, and I mean it's just a great weapon, and I just can't get enough of this gun. It's so amazing. Now for the sidearm, I switch up a lot. I like to get caliber kills. Although it does stupid low damage, I really like to get caliber kills. So I try to shoot him once with my marksman rifle, or whatever rifle I'm using, be it the Martini or whatever, and I try to finish it off with the Calibri. I know it's not the best way to play, but I just like to see the kill feed show up the Calibri kill. It's just so hilarious. I laugh every time. It gets me every time, just because it looks ridiculous, honestly. It's just, look at this thing. It's so fucking tiny. It just looks ridiculous. So that's I pretty much use the Calibri all the time, although some situations I wish I wouldn't. But yeah, that's just things that I do. For the Gadget number 3, obviously a flare gun spot. That is like the most useful scout gadget you can have, is helping your team out by spawning enemies with the flare gun. That gadget never changes. I always have the flare gun spot no matter what situation we're in, because it's such a good advantage to give your team to have those spots up that I can't see myself changing this gadget off. Gadget number 4, I mostly run the K-Bullets because, as I said, I'm mostly an aggressive scout. I've never really used the tripwire bomb. Sometimes I use the sniper shield, but that's very seldom. So most of the time it's going to be the K-Bullets and the frag grenades, obviously, and the melee for this one is the Bartek bludgeon. But that's pretty much it for my class setups. So if you guys have any questions about any of the weapons I'm using, please leave them in the comments down below, or send me a Facebook or Twitter message. Also, let me know how you guys like to set up your classes. As I said, this is all to adapt your playstyle. So I adapted my classes to my playstyle because I'm an aggressive player. But if you're more of a defensive player and you like to sit back a little bit more, then you got to change those things up. You you can't expect my classes to work for everybody. Like, this is how I play, but it might be a completely different thing for you. But yeah, if you liked the video, hit the like button. If you didn't, hit the dislike button. Subscribe for a lot more videos like this. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.